Okay, we are live. Everybody can hear us now. Let me get that timer off. Where the heck did that go? So many screens. I'll just click it off there. There we go. So many screens. So today we have, let me see if I can get this right. Upper left is Joe Collins.
Hello.
And above me is Colin. And to my, I don't know, what's my left or right? It's to my left, I think. Tim.
I'm Tim Collin, honorary Tim Collin, because I feel like
say,
in order to be a guest,
we got a Colin Gillen and a Joe Collins, and Colin's calling all the way from Ireland.
That's right, yeah.
And so far, we all have headphones, and there's no echo. Now, you can comment live if you hear an echo, but I cannot hear any echo from anybody yet. Right? Yep. Anybody else hear any echo on their end?
I'm not hearing an echo at all.
And I'm not hearing anything.
Okay, so it seems like the number one solution to echo problems is headphones. Okay, I got an earpiece right here. You just barely, it's a wired one going down my shirt. Everybody else has headphones. And Tim, are you using a third-party USB device, I presume, to get your microphone in?
Yes, I am. I'm using a X32 rack.
Okay. And Joe, I presume you're talking through your iPhone earpods?
Actually, no. Well, I'm listening through them, but I'm talking through a Blue Yeti.
Okay, so you also have a third-party mic. That's good to know. What about you, Colin? What are you talking through?
Yes, so there's Sennheiser headphones, and they have a speaker on them for talking through. So
they do?
That's it. Yeah, it's Bluetooth.
Oh, it's Bluetooth. Okay. I was wondering, I said, how do they have a headphone? So one of the main things, number one, for echo, headphones. Use headphones. We're all talking from all different places around the world. Nobody's getting any echo. The number two thing I found out to prevent echo is coffee. Okay. Yeah. I know it sounds strange. I know it sounds strange. Yeah, yes, I do. This is my hotline. I do a Final Cut Pro show, and I get a call from the Apple Final Cut Pro team on this when we're broadcasting live. But anyway, coffee is the number one way to prevent echo. Absolutely have coffee. Now that's my overhead cam that I'm using up there. It's a wired iPhone. I really like that feature. One of the features of ECAMM Live is you can use a wired lightning and use it for a camera. So I use it for my overhead, and that certainly is a rotary phone. And who knows? You might get a call from ECAMM Live today, talking. They might call in to correct us from issues. So the issues, number one, headphones. That's the number one reason to stop your echo, if you have echo, if you indeed have echo. Here's something else that I found out, and I'm going to echo cancellation. So I've got a FAQ up. I linked it in the beta group of things that I find useful that people keep asking over and over and over again. One of the things is echo cancellation is disabled for current output. The only way echo cancellation is going to be available is if you're using your built-in Mac speaker. The host, me as the host. If I don't set, I have a Mac Pro. If I don't set the Mac Pro as the built-in audio in the ECAMM preferences, that will not be available. So that's something that I found out. I researched. I said, how come my echo cancellation is disabled for current output? That's the reason. It's only meant for the built-in Mac speaker. So that's one of the things. So if you are using like a MacBook Pro, using the microphone, using the built-in speaker, definitely check that on. Definitely check that on. Otherwise, it's not going to be available. It's not available for our USB devices.
That's in preferences, is it?
Let me see if I can bring it. I don't know if can you see? Let me see if my preferences come up, and then I'll show you. Now let me. Can you see my preferences?
Yes.
Okay. So here in audio, right here in audio, I have all these different preferences. So Mac Pro speakers, if I turn this on, now echo cancellation is available. Can you see that down there, echo cancellation? It becomes available.
Yes.
Okay, but now I can hear you through my other one. So, and it says also here, use echo cancellation. So if I turn that off, back to my screen, hear you through my headphone, will be available. Down there and down there both. So that's the only time that becomes available is use the built-in speakers. So that's one of the things. Yeah, that's one of the things. People, I don't see how the echo cancellation can work with remote guests. I think it only works with the host. I don't know how else it would work, right? I mean, it's my speaker system, my microphone, so I don't know how else, it can't affect remote anybody else, any of the guests logged in, that are logged in. I don't see how it can.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
Okay. So Tim, do you have your setup, do you have plugins you're using? EQs, compressors and stuff?
On my X32, yes. So I have a pretty heavy internal compressor, and then I also have an EQ that I use, and I also use a gate. So because I have multiple computers around me, so if I'm not talking, my system gates my microphone.
Right. Mine does the exact same thing. I'm going to pull mine up here. I think the screen's logged in too much. So here is my setup. This is United Audio, and the reason I can't use this as the interface. I'm using it as a preamp. So I have plugins. It has tube emulation. It has legacy plugins and stuff that run in real time. There's no delay. I mean, there's virtually like 1 or 2 microseconds delay, so it's virtually running in real time.
Yep.
Which I really like. That's the reason I got it. However, I cannot use that one for, let me get you guys back. I can't use that one for going into ECAMM Live because, now why is that? Oh, because I have that on? Nope, that's not it. I want to get you guys back on the screen. How do I do that? There, there we go. Oh, it came back on again. I don't want to. Oh, there we go. Here we go. There we go. So for some reason, United Audio, I can't use it with Skype and ECAMM Live effectively. There's some kind of even when I mute it, the audio comes through and things. They said you're supposed to use it with the DAW. So I run the analog out of the United Audio into another USB interface, and I use that one for my main interface. Because
yeah, I know. I was going to say, I've been troubleshooting some different things with the X32, and it's similar in the sense that the X32 is actually an external mixer, so you can use it for full-fledged, venues or whatnot, and that has a USB out, but how you route that USB within the X32 is really what matters. And so I found that this microphone right here, it's going through channel 1, and
right.
What I cannot figure out is how I can get other channels to do the same thing. So last week I was trying to use my wireless lapel microphone instead of this microphone because I was walking around my office and it was not coming through at all. So unless I unmuted it and brought it up, but then I could hear myself. So it would come through if I unmuted it and brought the fader up on the unit, it would come through. But with this one, it's muted. It's all the way down. You can still hear me. It's still processed.
Right.
But so I couldn't get it to do it with number 2, number 3, number 4. I tried a bunch of different channels with this, with my wireless lapel microphone. And yeah, it was very weird. So sometimes that internal routing with, the hardware software issues. I know, Joe, you said that you had a Scarlett piece. Is that correct? Did I remember correct?
No, I have a blue.
Oh, you have the Yeti. You have
yes.
the Yeti. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's a little bit simpler as far as routing goes. It acts as an in and an out, and that's it.
Yeah, correct.
And so there's really no second, third, fourth channel that you're dealing with. It's just
Right.
this is your interface. It acts both as you're in and you're out, and that's all.
So I was surprised. I contacted U Audio, went back and forth, and this is a Thunderbolt 3 device. And I said, listen, it sounds like I'm getting two audio feeds. One is clean and one is processed. And it goes out even if I mute physically. I have a physical mute button right here. Mm-hmm. Even if I physically mute the microphone, it still goes into ECAMM Live and Skype. You can still see the signal. And I said, what the heck? Why is that going out via Thunderbolt 3? And it's not going out, the analog. And they said, well, the reason is because digital audio workstations, it's meant for digital audio workstations, and they have different controls than Skype and ECAMM. And so it's not meant for these. So I stopped using it, but I use the analog out and it's fine. Because I love this device for the preamp. I just absolutely love it.
Because that mute button is going to mute it to the actual physical, TRS outputs that would go to your speakers. So that's what it's muting it to. But the internal, the digital routing stays live. No matter what.
Yeah, that's what it. But it seems like I should be able to. I have the console. Should be able to do something with something. It's like you can't control it going out the Thunderbolt 3 for some reason. I don't. That just seems strange to me.
Have you used like loopback or anything like that?
I have those. I haven't got into those yet, but I absolutely have those. You think that'll work? Would that be able to solve that Thunderbolt? Because it's just weird that it happens that way.
Yeah, you know what? I have loopback, and I have attempted to figure out the signal flow internal routing with loopback, and it is mightily confusing.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
It's like Inception, right? It's like you're in the computer doing things in the computer that are happening outside the computer but are in the computer, and I'm just like, I don't understand how this.
Do I need anything else on my screen? That's my question. Right now I'm a one-man band operating. Do I need another loopback thing in there that could go wrong if I do it wrong?
Right. I wouldn't suggest that. If you have it working right now, going through two interfaces, I would just rock and roll with that. I was just more saying it for someone that's watching.
I have the UA specifically because of the preamp and because of the plugins. Now, let me tell you something. It's not cheap. It'll give you a heart attack. You look up the price of this thing. It's not cheap, but the difference is the UA, this thing has its own processor in here that processes plugins in just about real time. So what you're hearing is going through this device, analog in. It has its own processor. This has two processors. That's why it's called the Twin. And it processes the plugin in real time, so your computer's not doing any of the processing, then it sends it back out again. Yep. Let me pull Colin back up here. The other thing is, there you are.
Hey guys,
you took a little break.
Yeah, forced break.
There you go.
That's the broadband here. I think it's school time is finished, so next thing there's all this traffic on or whatever. But I'm really rural, like I'm only 2 kilometers from the sea, and we don't have any infrastructure outside of what comes through the air to get to here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. You got to go, up the road to get a hardwired connection into this building at all.
So for people that are having problems with any echo with ECAMM, they keep saying ECAMM is the source of the problem. It's not the source of the problem. All of us are completely talking fine. No echo, zero echo from all around the world. Headphones. That's the number one way to prevent that.
And I would say an external device. So that's the other thing is none of us are going into the Mac speakers and also coming back out of the Mac speakers. Because my theory with the Echo is that it is routing both your audio, so like how I would hear out of my headphones, but then I'm also using the microphone. So in order for me to be able to hear you, it's routing through my internal audio, which is then routing back out through the source, which is then being routed back to you and then being played back through the live stream. So that's my theory on the Echo. If you're using completely internal your Mac microphone with headphones, you still might have the Echo. We're all using external devices for our audio.
That's another good point, yes. Well, you should for quality anyway, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
Right, will I switch off my headphones and see what happens?
Sure, if yours is the easiest one to do
Go
that.
ahead. Go ahead, try
Yeah,
it.
so when I go off, I'm going to be just on my Mac.
Okay.
Now I am running through, my camera's coming through ECAMM through my phone, but that isn't going to be the mic source. So I'll turn it off.
Okay, sure, try it.
Okay.
So so my audio is coming through my speakers here in the studio. How's my voice?
It sounds fine. It sounds fine. Do you guys hear any echo? I don't hear any echo at all.
I don't hear the echo.
No, I don't hear any echo. So if we're talking, is it coming through your speakers? Give us a thumbs up there, Colin, if you can hear me talk there.
I guess his internet's a little bit slow.
Yes.
So Nathan says sounds fine here. So
that's great. That's awesome.
I think the MacBook is the easiest solution for if you're not going to use headphones, because it also has built-in cancellation, right? The MacBook does itself. Everybody says it sounds fine. Colin, you're frozen. It's your internet, I'm sure. Just hang on there. You'll come back on in a minute. Everybody's giving a thumbs up, so there's no echo. When he bring him back on, that's a good test. So the MacBook, once again, has some built-in noise cancellation. I mean, not noise, but echo cancellation because of the proximity of the speakers and the microphones themselves. So Nathan says, I did hear echo the entire time on your last test with Serena from both of you. Yes, that was from me.
Yeah, it's coming through nice.
There he comes.
There.
So what I'm going to do the same thing. He jumped off. I'm going to switch from my headphone to my built-in Mac Pro speaker and see if I'm going to turn on echo cancellation and see if there's any echo there. Because this is good experimentation. Let me go on so everybody can see what I'm doing here. Bring up preferences, and I'm changing in the ECAMM Live preferences audio from my Scarlett to my Mac Pro speaker. Okay.
Hello, check 1 2 2 2. Can you still hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
I can, but I can also
Yes.
hear myself coming through your speakers back into your microphone.
That's what I thought. Now, one of the things is I got to turn it down because it's really too loud. Oh, let me turn on. It says use echo cancellation. That's interesting. It came on automatically. I did not check that. As soon as I chose my Mac Pro speaker, it chose itself. So let me just turn it down a little bit. Oh, I don't have any control over that? That's weird. Why don't I have any control over my Mac Pro speakers? Volume control.
Because your internal audio routing is probably still set to the Scarlett.
You mean, okay, let me check system preferences. That's probably what it is. It's exactly what it is. Let me just check. This is good to do this is to help people. Let me see what it says. And it certainly does. Now I'll go Mac Pro. Okay. Now I have control. That's exactly what it was. Thanks, Tim. So if I turn it down, can you still hear yourself talk?
Check 1 2. Hey, check.
Testing 1 2.
Yeah. So in this case, the Mac Pro is not a good choice to use for speakers. The MacBook Pro has built-in stuff to help. Not only ECAMM's echo cancellation. I'm going back to my other device here. And back in ECAMM, I'm going to, so everybody can see, I'm going to bring up the preferences, Command a comma, and change Mac Pro speakers back. And this will become disabled. Yep, becomes disabled automatically. So now we should be back to normal. No echo, number one, headphones. If you don't have headphones and you're getting echo, that's the solution for you. Yeah, Jamie says there was echo from Tim. Justine Paula Robillard, she's calling from South Africa. She says, is echo the same as feedback? It's feedback is usually a frequency that's feeding back, but it's basically the audio is coming back through, so it's kind of like feedback, but feedback typically is a frequency that's feeding back. A microphone into a live PA typically.
I will say this real quick on another brief subject. I have a Mac Mini with a 3.2 6-core i7 with 32 gigs of RAM. And so far during this test, my computer has not gone above 35% processing unit.
That's fantastic.
So on I'm a guest. I'm using ECAMM in the background and my virtual cam and my audio, and I have two cameras set up, a Canon 80D and a Canon RP, and my system has not gone above 35%. I'm over 60% idle this whole entire time.
Now, how does that compare to Skype prior?
Skype itself uses about 30%. alone.
Okay.
So, and then ECAMM usually slides between 30 and 50%. So.
Let me see. Put him on just guest 2. There he is. Here's he back. There you are. You're back. Colin, did you switch rooms on us?
Hi, guys.
There you are. So we did a test with my Mac Pro speakers, and people could hear it, even with the echo cancellation chosen.
I see the user experience.
Your internet is a little bit
I think
slow. There you go.
Yeah.
But in any event, we could hear you clearly with your MacBook Pro and MacBook Pro microphone, speakers and microphone, without echo.
Okay.
But I think that's because of the MacBook Pro. So I think we've been, what else did I want to talk about? I had a couple of other things.
Real quick, Jonathan on the ECAMM Live beta group just asked, has anyone tried to bring in a guest that is using ECAMM beta that also has a guest in their system? I don't know. I'm using the beta right now, like I said, but I've not tried to bring in a guest. And then my theory would be that they wouldn't necessarily be able to see or hear or anything. Like, it would be really weird. They would just see me and not see you guys at all.
Well, yeah, we got that question here. So tell me something. When I logged in, Tim, I logged into your thing at 9:30. I didn't see the option for virtual cam. I was going to use virtual cam. I didn't see the option. So you had it when you logged in here?
Yeah, I'm on virtual cam right now.
So maybe I didn't turn it on before I logged in or something, but I didn't see it. All I saw was my cam link.
Yeah, that, or it could be a preferences in whatever browser you are using. If you're using Chrome, then you have to allow access to ECAMM in order to be able to use your screen or something. I don't know.
Okay. Definitely worth a test. So somebody.
Well,
I
I just
wonder.
got
Yeah, I don't know how that would work. It could be the. I don't know.
We could test it. I could give Jonathan a link right now, and he could join mine, and we could see how that would work.
Well, you can try, but you're broadcasting your virtual cam right now.
Right. So if I brought him in as a guest, put him on the screen,
sure,
he would show up, and we would both be on the same input as far as you're concerned.
Okay, Jonathan, go ahead and we're going to try it. See what's going on. He's going to send you. Tim's going to send you a link, and then we'll see what happens. I'm using a green screen. We had a question. Any of you guys using a green screen? I'm using green screen.
Oh wait, no, that didn't.
But so far, no. If we used headphones, there's no echo anywhere. When Colin used his MacBook Pro with the speaker and mic, it was sounded fine. There wasn't any echo. When I switched on to my Mac Pro speaker, which I need to do echo cancellation, they could hear themselves. So, the other thing is, Tim said, we all have separate USB devices for the microphone input. We're not using any kind of a stock Mac microphone.
Richard, I've got an issue going on here with this camera. It looks like it's a freeze frame, and I'm not sure why.
Huh. Why don't you log out and log back in, Joe? You'll be in the same position you are in.
Gotcha.
Guess one. It's supposed to send you right back.
Okay, we'll do.
And I'm going to check my speed right now. I have
Jonathan,
Ethernet.
if you're still listening, I sent you a message on Facebook Messenger with a link. So
Yeah, I'm getting 700 megabits per second down and 40 something up. So my speed here is fine. Here, Joe's calling. Yep, that's good. You went right back into position two.
Yeah, it's on my end. I'm not sure what it is. Looks like I've got to do a debug here.
Yeah, you're actually still frozen, but we can hear you though.
Gotcha.
We can hear you, and not only that, but your freeze frame looks good. So it's not a goofy freeze frame where you have you're making some kind of, but we can definitely hear you.
All right.
So Jonathan said he's checking.
Yeah, I'm going to cut out for 1 minute, see if I can figure out what's going on.
Okay. So we got a question. Are you allowed one more person, or you're at the limit? We're allowed one more person. Dallas. Now, how would is he from the Facebook group? I presume he is.
yeah, I think he's on the Facebook group.
All right, let me send him the link if he wants to log on, because I got 4 people coming on tomorrow. One of the problems with everything is behind my browser. I mean, ECAMM.
Okay, so I got Jonathan here. I'm gonna go ahead and add him to my stream real quick.
Okay. Dallas says he can't. Okay, let's see what happens. Yes, your screen is up on the screen.
Okay, Jonathan, do you want to talk real quick and see if we can hear you? I can hear you, yes.
Can't hear. There you go, Joe. You're back.
Yeah, it was actually a freeze frame on the camera itself. Interesting.
Still can't hear your guest, Tim. We can hear you fine.
How about now? Do you hear Jonathan now? Go ahead, talk, Jonathan.
No.
No. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's in the audio. It's how the audio's routed. They can see you, yes, but they can't hear you.
Yes. Now, what about your system settings, Tim? Is it set? Does that have anything to do with anything?
Let me double check.
Should be
I
ECAMM
can
Live.
hear you, yeah.
Put it in ECAMM Live audio, I would presume. Colin, you're back.
I'm back.
You got a different camera? Or
No,
same camera?
So I'm wired with my lightning cable from my iPhone. That's
Okay.
So I'm using what's that app?
Filmic Pro.
Yeah.
You have your there you go. Your controls are off. I use that too. That's what I use for this one. My overhead
cool,
cam.
Yeah, great.
I set it up.
So I'm just using my MacBook. I have no headphones on, no microphone. I'm just using.
And it sounds great.
Yeah, cool.
It sounds completely fine. So that's good to know. The MacBook Pro, like I said, I think that has built-in cancellation hardware.
The guys are still trying to write their audio.
No, Tim brought a guest in on his ECAMM Live. We can see him.
Yeah.
But we can't hear him. We can hear Tim, but we can't hear him. So he's muted his audio while he's talking to.
Right.
So that's interesting. You can imagine 4 people with 4 versions of ECAMM Live.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan can hear me, but you can't hear Jonathan, and Jonathan can't hear you, and I don't have any other options on my audio device to be able to select that. I mean, I'm using my X32 as my device for my audio on both my ECAMM and now, so you should be able to hear him as far as signal flow is concerned, but you can't. So that's an interesting test. So Jonathan, I'm going to go ahead and kick you out in a sense, right? So that was a great test. Appreciate you coming on. That was awesome.
Thanks, Jonathan. So Tim, imagine if all 4 of us did that. All 4 of us brought all 4 squares. We'd have 8 people, but you couldn't hear 4 of them. That's probably good for some people, right?
Right. Yeah, that would be crazy. I would be interested. I don't have loopback set up on this computer, but it would be interesting to see if I could do that at some point to get loopback going, so that you could be able to hear my guest and they would be able to hear you. And in that case, if we could get it working, it's essentially. I mean, I wonder. I guess it should be able to be
It should be workable. Absolutely.
Somehow it should be workable. Yes.
So there's a couple of other things. Let me pull these couple of other things here that I've got, that I found when I was working with audio. I'm going to pull this up. Let me see. Come on now. Where's my... There it is. I'm going to pull this up. A couple of other things. Let me pull this up. Okay, here. I'm going to share my screen. This came up... Guest audio is playing back on Mac's built-in speakers. And this warning came up. Use echo cancellation. Automatically. So the built-in Mac speakers it's got to be my speakers, not their speakers. So their audio is coming back on Mac's built-in speakers, which could result in an echo. Turn echo cancellation on or use headphones with remote guests. I like headphones better. What about you guys?
Headphones.
Yes.
Sure.
Headphones. That's what professionals do, and it just seems to be the best way to take care of the echo problem. So the first thing, if you're complaining about echo on your broadcast in ECAMM Live, don't complain if you're not using headphones. Okay? Use headphones. That it seems to eliminate the problem universally.
Yeah, I have custom molded in-ears.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are seeing the comments I put up on the screen too, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. I also have before I got involved with ECAMM, I bought a Sling Studio, if you guys know what that is, for broadcasting live. It's a live hardware device that makes its own network, and you can use, one of the best things about it is you can use iPhones for cameras wirelessly because they're on its own network that it develops in the area you're in. So I can use any recent iPhone and just download the app. It's free, and it's really good. It's really good quality, streaming. So, but I like ECAMM better as far as convenience and the features and stuff. I use that Sling Studio once in a while. But what I do is I take the Sling Studio and switch there, send the HDMI out into a cam link into ECAMM.
Richard, I have a question. Since you are streaming to multiple services, the count that I see, 19, is that a consolidated count?
I presume it is, yes. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. So it's really strange, but I have a bigger audience on Facebook. As a matter of fact, it's probably 10 times what my YouTube audience is.
That's typical.
Is it typical?
Yeah, it's much easier to get to grow your audience, particularly with ads on Facebook, than it is on YouTube because it's more social. So more people are scrolling and liking and commenting. YouTube is more of, I have a question, I'm going to go ask it, type it in the search, and find the video. So
right. Yeah, so that's what I typically found. But sometimes it'll change. There's some guests that are very popular on YouTube. I bring on the Terry and Chris from LumaFusion, the iPad NLE app, and they always get high numbers on YouTube. People, that's where their audience seems to be. So that was one of the things that I saw. Let me see if there's anything else. That warning popped up that said turn on your echo cancellation because it could hear the audio is coming from the guest through my speakers. One of the other things I learned, another tip, before you do this, that's I'm going to Safari. That's not going to work in Safari. Before you do screen sharing, if you notice all the way at the top, there's no menu items, and all the way at the bottom, my dock is hidden. Because the last time I did that, people were just amazed at how many icons I had in my dock. I had a whole bunch. So hide your dock, and I have an app up there on the top that hides most of my menu items, so it's much cleaner. You don't have to worry about that. Now, you can't see the speed test, can you? You're just seeing ECAMM interface?
I see the speed test to the left.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
So you can see my whole screen then. Okay, I didn't know that.
Except your icons at the bottom.
They're hidden. They're hidden. Okay. And my menu item, let me show you my menu items here. Look, here's my menu items.
Wow.
So that's why I got this app that hides them. Very, very easy. I have 2 apps that hide them. Bartender is one. This one seems to be easier. And then down below, of course, there's all my icons at the bottom. So the last time, I wasn't thinking about that. Last time people said, man, you got a lot of icons down there. Well, everything's not running. It's not running. It's just, they're just there for convenience. But I have a Mac Pro. Okay. I have a Mac Pro and I just do a lot of mostly video editing, Final Cut Pro stuff, Logic Pro stuff, now ECAMM. And my Mac Pro is just basically at idle. It's right here on the desktop. You can't even hear it. The fans are virtually silent. They have 3 gigantic fans in it, and they always run at different speeds to help with noise cancellation. You can't hear it, but man, it throws off some heat. I can feel it right now. So in the wintertime, that's going to be nice. Summertime, I don't know.
Yeah, I downloaded an app that somebody suggested. It's called Mac Fan Control.
I have that.
It allows you to adjust the fan speed or put them on full blast depending on a lot of different parameters like CPU temperature or your wireless Bluetooth temperature or whatever. So that's been nice. And I agree. I'm in North Carolina, and the cooler weather, I've been keeping my windows open, suffering with the noise outside to keep it cooler in here because it gets in the low 50s at night. So when I get in my office in the morning, it's nice and cool. It's great.
So somebody else on the East Coast, I like that. Most of my Final Cut Pro friends are from Europe or the West Coast. And Colin, do you drink coffee over in Ireland?
Sure do.
There you go. Probably very strong Irish coffee, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's coffee over here.
So we got a comment, Tim. Would you mind DMing me the headphones you're using from Jonathan?
Yep. I just sent it to him.
Okay. And Nathan McAvoy, one of my Final Cut Pro friends, I like the Mac preference automatically hide and show the menu bar. Turned on to hide the whole bar. I didn't realize it did. Oh, you mean down below. Yeah. But the menus above, I don't think we have one for there, at least that I don't know of. iStat menu can control the fans as well. I have that as well. I have all the... I'm a sucker for buying apps for stuff. I'm not a sucker. I just buy all of them. Then above, I don't think we have one for there, at least that I don't know of. iStat menu can control the fans as well. I have that as well. I have all... I'm a sucker for buying apps for stuff. I'm not a sucker. I just buy all of them. Then above, can you guys hear that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Where's
did you
that
turn
coming
your
from?
audio on? Did someone turn their audio on?
Colin.
The fans as well. I have that as well. I have all... I'm a sucker for buying apps for stuff. No, I don't. I'm not a sucker. I just buy all of them.
Where's that coming from?
Oh, yes.
That's me. I probably created a loop there.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Me
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I think it was. I said, where did that start coming from? I'm looking down my YouTube channel, make sure I didn't have it turned on there. So anything else we should try while we're here together with this?
No, that's good. I probably got to get back to work and do some other be productive.
Work? What's work?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, much like you, I edit some classes. I do a number of things, but I got to finish up editing these classes for one of my clients today. So that's on my
Absolutely. Well, everyone, I sure appreciate you coming on today. This has been a big help because now I have more confidence. You know the way Aussies are, right? They're going to be grumpy if things aren't working tomorrow morning. They're going to be on at 7:30. There's 4 Final Cut Pro from Australia, friends of mine. We're going to bring them on tomorrow. I got to get up at 7:30. I got to do one of those streams because it's like 9:30 or 10:30 at night. They have 2 different time zones I'm dealing with over there. I thought it was only one, but no, there's somebody switched to daylight savings time.
All right, gentlemen, it was great meeting you, and thank you so much for all the insight, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks a lot, Tim. I appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Right.